Hello everyone, back again. This is my third recording here, driving in the car and whatnot. So I've got a little bit longer of a drive than I had last time, so let's see what comes of this. Kind of have some ideas here. Hope everyone's doing alright. Realize this isn't like a live thing or whatever, but it is what it is. Alright, got some of that rain off. Weather's actually fairly nice for this time of year, which is pretty nice. Don't have all that snow and nonsense yet. And today I don't have anything I absolutely have to do, so that makes for a good day. I'm gonna take a rest day and whatnot. And I've been up since I think 1 a.m. and it is now approaching 10 a.m. My drive should be about a half hour or so, and then we'll see what I'm feeling like once I get to my destination. If I feel like sleeping or what I end up doing. But yeah, just wanted to kind of talk about just things going on, just thoughts that I've had. Mainly, besides just my normal routine and whatnot, been trying to make an extra effort to go and communicate with people a lot more, seeing family members, you know, even if they live a town over or whatever, you got a half-hour drive or whatnot, it's worth the effort and whatnot. And I feel like here soon, after this snow and ice and all that nonsense comes, it's going to be basically a stay-at-home, you know, kind of deal as much as you can. I'm not going to be messing with, you know, driving too far for the most part. I can take a couple months and not do that. I've been preparing for winter for a long time. Like I was saying in the last couple of videos about preparing for winter and that kind of thing. It's definitely something I recommend. And definitely something I recommend telling other people, and just, you know, just take it for a common sense type of sense, not like anything else particularly. You know, don't make fun of someone or whatever, but just explain to them some things that I was saying. Maybe I said something that made you think differently. I'm not quite sure, you know, and whatnot. So, yeah. It's been a pretty good day so far. Been good lately. It's always a good day if you choose to make it a good day. So I'm choosing to make it a good day, and it's a good day. What was I gonna say? Oh, so I guess the topic that was on my mind here was the whole thing about doing more than you're expected to do or whatnot, and scheduling, where time management type thing, and communicating with others, and how that all connects together. So basically, my situation is I'm not really used to a whole schedule that's real strict or whatnot until real recently. So that's been changing lately. I've been a lot more busy and whatnot, which is another reason why I figured let's take advantage of the you know, the time. Let's see if I can get over these tracks here. There we go. Got bumper to bumper traffic here. But yeah, as for using your time wisely, I'm a meticulous, what's the word I'm thinking of? Multitasker, where sometimes I'll get confused because I'm doing so much or whatnot. It all ends up working out because I end up actually achieving things more. If you're like sitting around watching TV or something like that, it's something I recommend where you would want to do something else while you're, you know, while you have the TV on or the radio or, you know, whatever you're doing. I like to do a lot of different things when I'm doing other things, whether I'm writing, taking notes, reading. I'll listen to something. I'll almost always have some kind of audio playing, or be on a phone call, or text someone, however you can get a hold of people nowadays, for the most part. and that just gets stuff out of the way sooner. Clean, just whatever you can find to do is a good idea while you're kind of listening to something on TV or whatever, because realistically you don't really have to watch things on TV. Which I haven't watched TV for the better part of years. I listen to stuff all the time. I'm probably one of the most in tune people with different things. I'm pretty knowledgeable about things that I've watched and that kind of thing, or whatever you want to say, consumed. And you always want to make sure you're thinking when you're doing things, playing video games or watching TV, listening to the radio, and you'll notice the patterns and different things like that. I'll go deep into that eventually. And that's my phone ringing, so that's fun. Let's see what this is going on here. Just driving and recording, that's all. Of course, unknown number. Typical. And I totally went the wrong way because I'm so used to going this way. So I might have taken a small detour, which is whatever. I got so focused in on recording and whatnot. This is my normal way most of the time, so this is where I'm going. I know how to get to where I'm going from here, though. So let's get into the whole topic of schedules and communication. So communication's a huge thing that no matter what age you are or whatnot, if you're younger, if you're in your teens or something, you definitely want to establish good relationships with people, communicate, and try to understand people even when they don't make a whole lot of sense to you or whatever. Always try to be respectful of people and that kind of thing, where you're not going to get into constant arguments with people, or if someone disagrees with them, try not to be too upset with them, or if they you disagree with them, they disagree with you, whatever. And you always kind of have to control yourself more than they're going to control themselves, because for the most part a lot of people don't really have a whole lot of self-control that they use, so that can make for a whole tense situation. As for scheduling, making plans with other people, that kind of thing, it's something I used to do a lot, and I'd always try to go out of my way and do extra for others. I'd say fairly rarely did I really get the intent of what I was trying to do, but I kind of accepted that a long time ago, that people don't really keep up with me or whatever. So if I wake up early and I get a hold of people and say, I don't have anything going on, do you want to make some plans today or whatnot, and then it's the constant, I was up late doing this, or I didn't have the discipline to do this, or I'm just not going to communicate here, or whatever. So you just kind of take what you can get at that point. It's a very respectful thing, though, too, when people try to make plans with you, or you try to make plans with them, however you want to word that you should be mature enough to make the plans, communicate, that kind of thing. Have a lot of backup plans. Say, I'd like to go and do something with this person, or go to this place, or even if you're planning to stay at home, always have the backup plan. What can I do today if I get in the position where I have nothing else to do? You don't have to just sit around and do nothing either. It's always good to try to stay active as well as you can. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I have one plan and at least two backup plans. I need to possibly get a hold of up to two people at least, and try to see what's going on with them, see if they have anything going on today, and then go from there. always crazy once you're out of school and that kind of thing. A lot of people are really busy, or they pretend to be busy. I'm not sure. A lot of people are busier than I am. I'm not going to pretend like they're not. There are some people that have been less busy than me and whatnot, and they don't do anything at all. So it's kind of one of those things. It's case by case. It can get very frustrating when you're trying to make plans, or you always try to think of something and it either doesn't work out or what have you. But that does happen every now and then. And I used to have a lot more time on my hands than I do now, but I always make time to do the stuff I need to do, stuff I want to do, get that stuff out of the way before, like for example, like when I expect to be snowed in for maybe really any day now, from any day now into the next 3-4 months maybe, we'll see. I don't remember last winter being that terrible. I didn't drive in it and whatnot. I wasn't driving a whole lot last year. I don't think I drove since February of 2020, and then I started back again in March, I think, or something like that. March, April, somewhere in there. And it's been a good situation since. I've just been working my way back to getting things how I want to get them for the most part. Me looking into possibly moving within the next 2 months or so, which that's always a fun situation. I don't know how old people will be necessarily listening to this. Probably teenagers and maybe 20, 30-year-olds, somewhere around there. Maybe a little older, you never know. But I'm sure you've experienced moving, especially if you're younger. That can be a situation, but sometimes it's just for the best. If you can live on your own and whatnot, and really take care of things and be mature and not have a lot of people come over, or that kind of thing. People don't necessarily need to know where you live. I don't really recommend living with other people if you can avoid it pretty much at all costs, in the sense of, like, if you're moving out of your parents' house for the first time and you get like an apartment or whatever, trying to go in on buying a house or whatever, that's a whole situation. That whole buying of houses, that you don't really own the property if you pay property taxes and whatnot, and they can take it away if you don't pay the taxes, so you don't really own it. But okay, well, that's a deeper subject for a different time. But anywho, you don't want to get involved too much in that, because you have to expect things to go wrong, because they will. Whether you do everything right, you never know. You want to try to save up money if you can, or at least make sure that when you're spending money, it's on stuff you absolutely need, and that kind of thing. Expect, when you have people around, that anything can happen. Anyone can steal from you. You can have your car break down. You can get in a car wreck. You lose your house, whatever. You lose your job. I don't know. Maybe if you're in school, you're not in school anymore, or you go to school, which I don't recommend after high school, pretty much. I'm kind of, I guess you could say, neutral on like trade school type things. I've seen some good come from them. I just think that if you're putting years into something, that I hope you get something out of it. I know some people went to trade school for too long and stuff like that. So yeah, it's case by case, but for the most part, I would work as soon as you can, for the most part. And if you don't like the job or whatever, just take your opportunity and go for it the best you can. Make something out of it. And you want to use your skills, that kind of thing. You want to be reliable, be respectful, be helpful. Try to learn as much as you can. Try to help others. I don't know what there's all kinds of different jobs out there. So it just depends on what you do, but I think for the most part, a lot of those will come into play no matter what you end up trying to do. And a lot of people go into debt and whatnot and make a lot of mistakes when they go move out of their parents, or they go to college, or even if they're still in high school, they can make a lot of mistakes and whatnot. If you make a mistake, just try to fix it. Don't make more bad mistakes or whatever. If you make you have something change in your life, and you don't expect it, obviously that can be a bit strange at first, and it's just good to get on top of it instead of worrying about it once it comes or whatever. I understand that whole mindset. Don't be worried. I wouldn't say worry about things. I would just say try to prepare the best you can. If you can mentally prepare, if you need to physically prepare for something, or buy certain things, or whatever you need to do. I'm sure you guys have all been through something where there's a situation that random changes come that were out of your hands, and even some that you decided that maybe it worked out for you, maybe didn't. You thought it'd be a good idea and it wasn't. Maybe you thought it was a bad idea and ended up good. You just never can tell. But it all comes down to your mindset and your effort, because no matter what, it's all going to come down mainly to your mindset. Also, your effort is very important, but even if everything is out of your hands, you have to control your own mindset and not let things get you down when things are kind of rough, because I think we've definitely all been there, or are there now to a sense. It's kind of like one of those things, are you ever really ready for something, or are you prepared for this or that, or are you mentally okay type thing? Yeah, just it's good to keep track of that kind of stuff. Realize things that are changing around you. Realize the patterns that you're in. It's just good stuff to know. I would say within the last 9 months or so, it's been very, I guess almost 10 months now, 10, 11 months now almost. It's been very, it's been fairly open, I'll say that, but I have been very busy I stay busy, I choose to stay busy type of deal. Staying healthy, try to, get into good shape or whatever you want to say. Doing things that you enjoy as well, talking to people as much as you can. There's people I talk to every day. There's people I talk to probably every month or so. There's a lot of people that I need to get back in touch with, and that's pretty high on my to-do list. As soon as I get done with between hopefully moving here, which I will be seeing about. Not sure if I'll be moving out of town or what the situation is, when, where, how, but it's not one of those things to worry about necessarily. It's just try to stay on top of it and mentally be ready. And I think that it's time. After 9-10 months, I've pretty much done what I wanted to do, and I'm pretty much on the track that I set for myself. I said let's see about next year, as in this coming year, and for this year, this last year, the last 9-10 months, we'll say, or technically longer, I guess it is the end of the year, but I moved in like February, so I'd say about 10 months or so, 10, 11 months since I moved, and a lot of things changed on me, where I was to myself, living away from family, away from friends a lot more. Communicating with people is mostly the only way I really came in contact with a lot of people. There are some people that have came around, but you kind of have to realize that's going to happen, and people's lives seem to change as well. And without trying to sound too irritated or whatever, there are some situations where people seem to change once you're not around, or like if you're there, if you're around them a lot, they don't really do much, but yet then they become busy and quiet when you're not, if that makes sense. So you can't really catch them on the phone anymore. You can't make plans with them when you used to see them every day, pretty much. I realize every day is very hard to do, pretty much. What's the word I'm thinking of? I'm not saying impossible. Hard to expect, whatever the word is for that I can't think of at the moment. But yeah, it'd be kind of nice if things were, how they used to be or whatnot, a little more throughout the years. I've had a lot of good, I've had a lot of bad, so let's try to get all the good that we can. I'd say most of my friends and whatnot, we get along for the most part. There is some unnecessary nonsense a lot of times, and it's the whole, like, it's better just in general to talk to people one-on-one than it is with multiple people around, because it's constant interrupting. You don't get that one-on-one. There's a lot more joking around and whatnot, where I'm all for joking around and whatnot when it's time, but a lot of people seem to not know when to focus and whatnot as well, which I deal with that all the time. And then, I get looked at as, oh, you don't like to have fun, or you don't this or that. It's like, no, I'm just a very calm person that stays focused on what I'm trying to do for the most part. And I feel like when I act differently, where I start to become more joking around and that kind of thing, people don't overly know how to take it or expect it, and they're kind of thrown off. That can make for some different situations. But that's pretty much that whole situation with friends and communication and whatnot. Upcoming plans. So I think that's probably it for a little bit, and I'll see if I come up with another topic here soon. Alright, thank you for listening. Bye.